Michael Waltrip is the worst driver in NASCAR, period.
Got a really inexperienced guy in a really fast car that made a really bad move and then wrecked me.
NASCAR fans, you know the drill. Fast cars, wild crashes, and rivalries hotter than a pit road fire. But let's talk about the real drama, the trash talk. And let's get one thing straight. Trash talk is as much a part of racing as left turns and checkered flags. Drivers throwing shade? Oh, it's the spice that keeps the drama alive. But here's the kicker. Sometimes that smack talk backfires harder than a blown tire on the last lap. Ever wonder what happens when drivers chirp a little too loud? Like, remember when Denny Hamlin said, "All we do is win, baby," only to lose the championship? Or when Clint Bowyer called Michael Waltrip the worst driver ever, then ended up driving for his team? Yeah, karma's got a sense of humor in NASCAR. We've all heard those legendary one-liners. He won the battle, but he won't win the war. Or how about, "Here, kitty, kitty, come get you some of this." Absolute gold, right? But what happens when those bold words come back to bite him? Spoiler alert, it ain't pretty. Buckle up today. We're counting down the top 5 moments where drivers talked big and got served a hot plate of humble pie. Number 1, Denny Hamlin's trash talk troubles. Let's kick it off with the man, the myth, the king of smack talk backfires, Denny Hamlin. If there's one thing Denny loves more than a good race, it's a good jab. But man, has it come back to haunt him. Back in 2010, Hamlin was on fire. Dude bagged 8 wins that season, including a wild victory at Michigan, and he had every right to feel like the man. He hit victory lane with all the swagger in the world and declared with one of the cockiest lines in NASCAR history, "All we do is win, baby."
And Denny Hamlin is going to make a statement saying, if the drive for 5 is alive, you're going to have to come through me. Look at this, going to the straight. 5 cars in that mix. Jimmy Johnson just barely beat Paul Menard back to the line there.
Well, guess what happened next? Fast forward to the championship race. Denny choked at Homestead, Miami, losing the championship to Jimmy the Goat Johnson. He ran out on gas on his title hopes too. His confidence went from a full tank to fumes faster than you can say, "Better luck next year." Ouch. That's like trash talking your buddy during a pickup basketball game, only to airball the game-winning shot. Denny learned the hard way. Celebrate after the job's done. To make matters worse, his feud with Brad Keselowski in 2009 didn't age well either. Denny called Brad out for being reckless, claiming nobody likes him. Yet, Brad went on to snag a championship in 2012. Meanwhile, Denny? Still waiting on that big trophy. Ouch. Number 2, Clint Bowyer eats his words. Next up, we've got Clint Bowyer, who let his mouth get ahead of his career. Back in 2008, during the night race at Bristol Motor Speedway, Clint Bowyer got tangled up in an accident caused by none other than Michael Waltrip. Bowyer was fuming after Michael Waltrip caused the wreck that messed up his car. Frustrated and fuming, Clint didn't hold back on the radio, calling Waltrip the worst driver in NASCAR, period. Savage, right?
07, the damaged car of Clint Bowyer. Let's ride along with Clint and listen to what he heard.
Michael Waltrip is the worst driver in NASCAR, period.
Fast forward a few years and guess who Clint ends up driving for? Wait for it. Yep, Michael freaking Waltrip Racing. During the press conference announcing his arrival, Waltrip couldn't resist roasting him, cheekily asking, "So Clint, when you said I was the worst driver, did you mean of all time or just this era?" Talk about karma coming with a side of humor. Bowyer had to eat his words, but hey, at least Waltrip didn't hold a grudge and they laughed it off. Lesson here? Don't trash the guy who might sign your paychecks one day. Number 3, Joey Logano versus Martin Truex Jr. Now, 2018. Martinsville was where the drama dial hit an 11. Joey Logano and Martin Truex Jr. went head-to-head in the playoffs, and things got real spicy. Truex Jr. was leading late in the race, and Logano had his sights set on him. With 9 laps to go, Joey pulled off a classic bump and run, muscling past Truex in turn 3. The two traded paint and crossed the finish line in a nail-biter, with Joey taking the win. After the race, Truex was fuming, declaring, "He won the battle, but he's not going to win the damn war."
He may win the battle, but he ain't win the damn war.
So he's not going to get there. You're not going to win the championship.
He ain't.
How do you retaliate?
I'm just not going to let him win it. I'm going to win it.
You're going to make it the championship for?
It's the plan right now. We should be in victory lane right now, but it's just the way it went today. It didn't work out.
Spoiler alert. Joey won the damn war. Not only did he clinch the championship that year, but he also immortalized Truex's words as the ultimate mic drop moment. Moral of the story? Be careful who you talk trash to. They might just make it their personal mission to prove you wrong. Number 4. Kevin Harvick gets Chastained. Now, let's talk about the time Kevin Harvick came for Ross Chastain, and let's rewind to a Darlington Xfinity race in 2018. Kevin Harvick and Ross Chastain got into a heated battle that ended with Harvick spinning out. Harvick didn't mince words, ripping into Chastain saying, "You've got a really inexperienced guy in a really fast car."
That's just a really inexperienced racer and a really bad move there. I couldn't do anything with the wheels, so got a really inexperienced guy in a really fast car that made a really bad move and then wrecked me.
Fast forward a few years, and Ross Chastain's career is flying higher than a restrictor plate at Talladega. He's a Cup Series winner with Busch Light as his sponsor. Oh, and that sponsor. They backed Harvick for 7 years. Not only did he snag Busch Light, Harvick's longtime sponsor, but he even painted his car in Harvick's iconic colors as a nod to Harvick's legacy. Was it payback? Nah, it was a tribute to Chastain's hustle. Talk about poetic justice. Harvick might have thought Ross was green, but the Watermelon Man proved he's got what it takes to run with the big dogs. Still, you gotta think Harvick was feeling some kind of way seeing his old sponsor backing the guy he once called out. Number 5. Tony Stewart's Kitty Kitty. Finally, we've got one for the ages. Tony Stewart and Kevin Harvick at Indianapolis Motor Speedway in 2007. Now, this one's just plain funny. Stewart was dominating the race, but a late caution set up a green flag restart, and Harvick pounced like a cat on a laser pointer and snatches the lead on the restart. Tony, being Tony, not one to take losing lightly, got on the radio and taunted Harvick with, "Here kitty, 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 come get you some of this."
Well, I'll tell you what, that last lap, Kevin Harvick just ran a 52.10 to Tony Stewart's 51.95, so that last lap, hey, you're right, Stewart was faster. Stewart's got a run on him right now, Dale.
But as we know, you can have a really fast race car, but you get to the bumper of that car in front of you, makes it difficult to pass.
Did you guys just hear what I heard? Stewart going, "Here, kitty, kitty, kitty." I'll tell you what, he's reeling him in right now, and he feels, look, there he goes.
Tony hard left.
But Harvick wasn't having it, and what happens next? The two duked it out, door to door, until Stewart got a little too desperate and bumped Harvick to take the win. Harvick wasn't thrilled, but their friendship survived the scuffle. Props to Harvick for keeping it classy, even when Stewart's smack talk got under his skin. That's NASCAR for you, where rivalries burn hot, but friendships run deep. And let's be real, Tony's trash talk was kinda legendary. And there you have it, folks. The top 5 times NASCAR drivers let their mouths write checks their careers couldn't cash. From Denny's overconfidence to Clint's biting remarks with Waltrip, these moments remind us why we love this sport. It's not just the racing. NASCAR is as much about personalities as it is about speed. It's the drama, the rivalries, and the personalities that keep us glued to the action. Which moment do you think was the most embarrassing? And how do these rivalries make NASCAR even more epic? Got a favorite trash-talking moment we missed? Drop your thoughts in the comments below and let's get this discussion rolling. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe for more interesting stories and updates from everything NASCAR. Do share this video with your friends. Until next time, keep the conversation going on, lucky dog on track.